So, yeah, for everyone listening, today we're diving into something pretty wild: the multiverse and ripple effects. It's one of those topics that sounds like pure science fiction, but actually has some serious physics behind it. Lucy, you ready for this one?
Wait, so you're telling me there's a universe where I chose tea and my entire life went differently? That's both terrifying and fascinating.
Right? So basically, we're talking about how one tiny change, like, I don't know, you deciding to have coffee instead of tea this morning, could create completely different realities across parallel universes.
Hi, everyone. And yes, Gian, I'm so ready. This is the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night thinking about all the what ifs.
Yeah, exactly. It's called the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. Every time a quantum event happens, which is basically all the time at the subatomic level, the universe splits into different versions.
Okay, but when you say splits, does it literally break apart? Because that sounds pretty dramatic.
Not exactly breaking apart. Think of it more like branching, like a tree growing new branches constantly. Each branch is a complete universe, just as real as ours.
Oh, I see what you mean. So right now there could be infinite versions of us having slightly different conversations.
That's the idea. And here's where it gets really interesting. Gravitational waves. You know those ripples in space-time that scientists detected a few years back?
The ones from black holes smashing into each other? Yeah, that was mind-blowing news.
Right? Those ones. So these waves travel across the universe carrying information about massive cosmic events. But what if, and this is where it gets speculative, what if these waves could somehow connect or communicate between parallel universes?
Whoa, hold on. You mean like cosmic text messages between realities?
Huh? Yeah, kind of. I mean, if space-time can ripple in our universe, who's to say those ripples don't affect neighboring universes in the multiverse?
That's actually beautiful in a weird way. Like everything's connected through these invisible waves we're only just starting to understand.
Exactly. And for our listeners who might not know, when we say ripple effect, we usually mean how one small action can cause a chain of consequences, like throwing a stone in a pond.
Right. The ripples spread out and affect everything they touch. Except here, we're talking about ripples through reality itself.
Yeah. And imagine if every decision you make sends out these quantum ripples that create new universes. The pressure, right?
Oh, great. Now I'm going to overthink every single choice I make today. Thanks for that, Gian.
Well, here's the thing. You're already making those choices anyway. The multiverse doesn't care if you're thinking about it or not.
That's weirdly comforting. Like the pressure's off because it's happening regardless.
Exactly. But what really gets me is this idea of cascading consequences. Say you decide to take a different route to work one day.
Okay, I'm following.
In one universe, you take your usual route and everything's normal. But in another, you take the new route. Maybe you meet someone, that meeting changes your career path, which affects who you marry, where you live.
And suddenly it's a completely different life from one tiny decision. That's actually terrifying.
Or liberating, depending on how you look at it. Every moment is potentially the start of something completely new.
Oh, I like that perspective better. So we're basically creating new realities constantly just by existing.
Right, and here's where the science gets really wild. Some physicists think there might be patterns, like certain events that happen across multiple universes in similar ways.
Wait, what? Like cosmic synchronicity?
Yeah, exactly that phrase. Synchronicity usually means meaningful coincidences, but imagine if certain major events are somehow locked in across realities.
That's giving me goosebumps. Like maybe some things are just meant to happen no matter what universe you're in?
Could be. Maybe you and I having this conversation about the multiverse was always going to happen in most realities where we both exist.
Oh, that's actually kind of sweet in a nerdy cosmic way.
Huh? Leave it to us to find romance in quantum physics. But seriously, the implications are huge. If we could somehow detect or measure these patterns,
We could predict the future? Or at least see which events are more likely across realities.
Potentially. Or we might discover that free will works differently than we thought. Maybe some choices matter more than others in terms of creating new branches.
Oh man, imagine if scientists figured out which decisions create the most universes. Like, breaking news, eating breakfast creates 47% more parallel realities than skipping it.
I love how your mind works. But you know what's even crazier? The gravitational waves we detect might actually be carrying information from events in parallel universes, not just our own.
Hold up. You mean when LIGO detects gravitational waves, they might be from other universes?
It's possible. If the multiverse exists, and these universes are close enough in some higher dimension, massive events like black hole collisions could send ripples across multiple realities.
That would mean we're already detecting evidence of the multiverse without even knowing it.
Right? Exactly. We might be picking up cosmic events from universes where physics works slightly differently, where maybe stars are bigger or a gravity is stronger.
This is making my brain hurt in the best possible way. So every time scientists detect these waves, they could be glimpsing other realities?
That's the beautiful thing about this theory. We might already have the data, we just don't know how to interpret it yet, like having a book written in a language we haven't learned.
Speaking of language, for our listeners, when Gian says glimpsing, it means getting a quick look at something, like catching a brief view.
Good catch. Yeah, we're basically trying to glimpse these other universes through the tiny windows that gravitational waves might provide.
And the twist could be that one day we figure out how to send messages through these waves, not just receive them.
Now you're thinking like a science fiction writer. Imagine being able to communicate with another version of yourself.
Oh no, that would be so weird. Like, hey, other Lucy, did you also choose psychology? How's that working out for you?
And they might reply, actually, I became an astronaut. Mind blown.
Great. Now I'm jealous of imaginary alternate versions of myself. This is a new kind of FOMO.
FOMO across the multiverse. But seriously, this whole concept changes how we think about regret, doesn't it? Every path not taken actually was taken, just in another reality.
That's actually really comforting. Like, somewhere out there, every version of our dreams came true.
And every nightmare too, unfortunately. It's all out there somewhere if the multiverse is real.
Way to bring down the mood, Gian. But I guess that's the balance, right? Infinite possibilities means infinite everything.
True. The good, the bad, and the absolutely bizarre. There's probably a universe where we're having this exact conversation, but we're both dolphins.
Dolphins? Okay, now you've lost me. How would that even work?
Who knows? Maybe evolution went differently. The point is, if infinite universes exist, even the strangest possibilities become certainties somewhere.
So basically, if I can imagine it, it exists somewhere in the multiverse?
According to this theory, yeah. Every story, every dream, every random thought, it's all playing out somewhere.
That makes every creative person like a multiverse explorer, doesn't it? Writers and artists are just channeling other realities.
I love that idea. Maybe inspiration is just picking up signals from parallel universes where those stories actually happened.
Okay, that just gave me chills. What if déjà vu is when multiple versions of you experience the same moment?
Oh, that's good. Like a synchronization glitch across realities. Multiple timelines briefly aligning.
Yes, and maybe that's why it feels so weird, because for a second, you're aware of being in multiple places at once.
This is why I love talking to you about this stuff. You always find these amazing angles I hadn't considered.
Well, you're the one who got me thinking about gravitational waves as cosmic messengers. That's brilliant.
It all connects somehow. The ripples, the branches, the infinite possibilities. We're living in such an incredible time where we're actually starting to test these ideas.
Right? Our grandparents could only dream about this stuff. And here we are actually detecting gravitational waves and seriously discussing the multiverse.
And for everyone listening and practicing their English with us, this is real science we're talking about. These aren't just fantasy concepts anymore.
Yeah, and if you're learning English, you've just picked up some great science vocabulary too. Ripple effect, cascading consequences, parallel realities. These are phrases you'll hear more and more.
Exactly. The language of science is becoming part of everyday conversation because these ideas are moving from theory to potential reality.
And who knows, maybe in another universe, one of our listeners is the scientist who figures out how to prove the multiverse exists.
I love that thought. All right, everyone. I think we've given you plenty to think about today. Your brain probably needs a break after all this multiverse talk.
But it's so worth it. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through parallel realities, everyone. Keep practicing that English, keep wondering about the universe, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and remember, every choice you make might be creating new universes, so make them count. Take care, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Or in another universe entirely. Bye, everyone.